So today, very excited. We're going to be seeing some no limit hold'em cash games. Some really, really good players here. As you see, Timothy Adams, just an absolute OG. Mizrachi is going to be an interesting to see him play. He was very aggressive in PLO. It was good to see. With Koray Aldemir, Jungleman, of course, one of the best poker players in the world. At anything, really. If you're going to talk about like the mix of live, online, cash games, different varieties of cash games, he would have to be one of the best poker players ever. I usually don't talk about that very much, but I think it's safe to say that he is. Alright, so 100, 200, 200 ante. Easy peasy.
So I have to put the cards here? Yes. I guess so. Put the cards here? Yeah. Okay, guys.
So 2 blinds, 100, 200, and then 200 and 200.
Okay, guys, no staring, no seat tanking today.
I'm the worst for that, guys.
Otherwise, I quit.
Yes.
I already apologize because I'm the worst for that.
Jungleman was our big winner yesterday, winning about 70,000 euros. He was winning 120,000 and then lost a few massive pots at the end, getting really unlucky in a few. But then again, he ran really hot at the start of the day. We see Jungleman Dan. Raises with a 9-7 suited. Timothy Adams gonna be defending his big line a lot, especially with antes, of course. And that is trouble. Both players flop trips. And again, guys, production has confirmed that they will be turning up table sounds, so it's easier for you guys to hear what the players are saying. Now, I've played with Adams quite a bit, and he uses some extremely big sizings on later streets. It looks like he is going to check raise, so Jungleman could be in a bit of trouble here. We're 30k deep. And Adams is so aggressive. He's definitely going to be raising a lot here. Jungleman is going to be really happy. Oh, he got saved there. Jungleman really happy. He got check raised as well, of course. Boo. Everybody's seeing the 3 going, boo. So here you see both players trying to kind of like protect their overall strategy. Adams knows he would give up a lot on this turn, so doesn't really want to be betting all the time. Jungleman also knows that he wouldn't even be betting a hand like 9s or something, so he's just going to check back as well. If he had ace highs, he'd be checking as well, so... And here we see some of that big bet sizing I was talking about. Looks like he's going for 7,000. Might be 6. It is 7. So Jungleman here, 7,000 to call. At this point, you're like, they overbet. It's going to be so hard to rep absolutely nothing if you raise. You know, if the turn wasn't a 3, then I would say that Jungleman was just going to call. I'd say that Timothy Adams is going to bet the turn. Probably bets like pot and overbets the river. So my estimation is it would be like a 40k pot then. A super awkward spot. I mean, 7-3 doesn't beat him. 7-4 does. It's super unlikely, so... Sometimes you want to decide, you know, if I look really strong and I'm just not going to get called that much, shouldn't I just flat? But it's so unlikely he's beat here. And, you know, even though we know they're going to chop, it's cool to see what these guys pick as sizing. So he went pretty small, 15.5. And most of these guys are going to be pretty comfortable playing these stakes, but that's really nice because that means there's going to be a lot of action as well. So lots of big pots, more fast playing. So Jungleman gonna bet in position. Gonna be really comfortable with the 7s on this board. Mizrachi, rightfully so, coming along with ace king. Can't just fold every flop you miss. Pretty good card for Jungleman. Gives him an emergency straight draw if he needs it. It's unlikely his opponent has a 9. You know, if you think about all the hands that have a 9 in it, you know, hands like 9, 7, 10, 9, they're most likely betting the flop anyway, because that's the easiest way to play them. Even a hand like 10, 7, so the 9 is an absolute brick there for Jungleman. I guess ace 9 is the only hand you're afraid of, but takes it down on the turn. Alright, yo viral. So guys, tell me, I need you to educate me. Is it Jo Viral, right? Not yo viral. It's Jo Viral, right? 2 spades. It's yo. I don't trust you guys.
You never know, he can 10x spots. Just 9x. 9.6x.
So the spade flush gets there for yo viral. And Jungleman's gonna bet pretty big here. That's 1.8k on the end. It's a nice little check back there from yo viral. Oh my god, this guy's from the Matrix, he has 2 watches on.
I'm gonna just call it. It's very weak, but I have a very good hand. Yeah, I think you're polarized, but yeah, I have flash, but I wanted to raise, but I think it's bad. Yeah, I'm very nitty, you know. Yeah, king I flash, you're good.
Yeah, I know table sound is low, guys, but we got confirmed from production that they will be upping it. So I have it maxed out here, so.
So if I raise, I'm bluffing. Okay?
Top pair here for Koray Aldemir. People haven't been drinking today, but the game has been going for like 15 minutes, so somebody's Robert Mizrachi mentioned shots based on the color of the flop or something, so I'm not entirely sure. Jungleman is gonna come around. He has really good backdoor draws. He could have like turning a gut shot or a hard draw. Definitely gives him some more equity than with other 3s. King 3 here, much better than ace 3. Of course, you still only have a pair of 3s. Both players make it straight, so Jungleman gets a little bit lucky. I like the check from Aldemir. He was gonna get a reasonable bet there from Jungleman on the river. Had it not come a jack. Nice easing into the action, some chop pots. You know what they say? Nothing on this stream about that stuff, alright? My thoughts on Jungleman as a poker player, he's one of the best poker players ever. He's one of the most all-round, and it's not even that he's like limited at some of his games. He's one of the best players in a lot of the games that he's playing, so he's just an incredible player. So we see that people are considering these spots because they're also facing big bets. If you were to bluff here, you'd also be thinking about it for a while against a big bet. So Aldemir is trying to decide: do I raise? You know, how likely this? All right, this is just It's fucking incredible that he moves all in though. That's, I mean, Jungleman instantly calls, so they chop. But think about the situation, guys. You see Queen 9-10 Jack against a guy who raised pre-flop. You bet full pot and they just rip it in for 25,000 euros. If that is any indication of what the action is going to be like, that's incredible. Like, those kind of moves is what sets a guy like Koray apart from other people. Assesses that he has a chop, doesn't go for value, just thinks like, whatever, you're not calling with worse anyway. I just want to move you off it. That was crazy. I've never been to Estonia. I've been to Latvia. Never to Estonia. I really have to give a lot of props to the guys from the PAPC and Patrik Antonius for realizing that it's really cool to broadcast on multiple channels. They're the first that they even suggested it themselves. They said, "You wanna come to Tallinn to do commentary?" And I said, "Yeah, I would love to. It sounds, you know, like a cool gig, and etc. etc." And then they said, "Wait, wouldn't it be cool if you do it on your own channel?" Yes, that would be fucking amazing. You know, we get here. Everybody has their own tags, emotes. Everybody's used to this channel. It's just really cool. And they're doing it on their own as well. So Joe Stapleton and Kane are doing it over First Line of Poker. And on Facebook. So, you know, everybody just gets to pick. And I think that's really good for content in the end. I think that makes your content reach farther. More eyeballs on it. People get to watch it in the tone they normally do. Robert Mizrachi is such a road grinder. Like, he's like... or a road gambler. I've seen him once in a tropical place where there wasn't really that much poker going on, playing open face Chinese against somebody for high stakes. Then I played a cash game on a boat somewhere in the Caribbean and he was there. Then I played a PLO game in Toronto and he was there, you know. He's just always playing, man. That guy has some love for the game. It's just, I don't know, I respect that. Rob Mizrachi gonna continuation bet his boards. He's not gonna be able to get rid of Timothy Adams here. Turn gives Mizrachi a little bit more equity. He can now hit a heart to take it. I really like that he's upping the aggression. It's really tough to get folds on this board for one bet. Recognizes that. He's gonna go for it. Timothy Adams is gonna make the call. Bink. There's the ace. Timothy Adams out of position. That's really awesome sizing there. Giving Timothy Adams a little taste of his own medicine. Timothy Adams always picks very annoying bet sizes to play against. So there is a flush out there. Now, there is going to be some hands containing one heart that Mizrachi will bet on the turn, right? So if Timothy Adams thinks I'm good, he could be up against a queen with a lower kicker. That's a really good fold. That's just a really good fold. A queen with a lower kicker most likely isn't betting the river. Most hands that contain one heart are probably ace-high hands or some king-high. But, you know, he has a king in his hand, so he blocks some of the king-jack, king-10. Really like that fold there by Timothy Adams. Didn't really consider it for very long either. So we see Timothy Adams opening here. Jungleman considering he is going to make it 2,000. So four times the bet. And Queen 10 offsuit's just going to go in the muck. Suited he would definitely call. Just makes a difference. If you're calling it offsuit, then you're just going to be calling way too much. I used to love, like, whenever we played high stakes games in Holland, we'd always start at like 1:32 or 2 p.m. in the afternoon. It was just, it's so nice. Everybody feels like they're doing something healthy, you know. All right, raised to 500 there from Timothy Adams. I have so much respect for this guy. Such a great player. And now Jungleman gonna go for the rear ace again. He's really gonna like this. I think he might have even showed the king 7 of clubs earlier.
It's the jungle show, right?
Antonius in the big blind, not having any of it, and that spells trouble for Timothy Adams. Man, what a spot for Jungleman here. He has Patrik Antonius behind him, and he doesn't want to snap call in case Antonius has a hand like jacks or queens and is convinced he's beat. Alright, so the sound went up, that's good. Man, that is a really tough spot for Timothy Adams. It is likely that the same thing would have happened otherwise, though. He would have 4-bet. Just a big setup.
Good luck, guys.
You have it? Oh, but you really tanked that long with that shit? Come on. Come on, Jungle Man.
I mean, what are you gonna do if you're like, whatever?
You just tried to induce me to, yeah. Well,
If I had a real decision, huh? Twice. Yeah.
So massive pot here, 54,000 euros. Adams in trouble.
Forever has the aces. The guy who had a tough
Alright, so they're running it
this
twice.
guy was all in.
You almost got right.
You almost tricked Patrick.
He was trying to get Patrick's fall off.
Nice timing.
Number 6 is gonna pay, by the way.
Nice timing for you.
Nice timing. 4 on the river.
Alright, so the first board, that means that Jungleman is now free rolling the pot. Ooh, there's a 10 though for Adams.
Yeah, chop it up.
Oh, there's another 10, so no outs anymore for Jungleman.
That's your
So they both chop. They both actually make some money there because they chop Antonius' money.
Okay, sorry. Hold on.
You don't have a phone?
Yeah, I have a phone, but I'm trying to.
Daily quads. So very lucky break there for Adams. Actually both win about 3k.
Take it from him.
Who's doing the
Alright, here we go. Ugh, is that Jägermeister? Oh my god, my stomach.
Take a
Coffee first.
Alright, then we'll wait.
What?
You guys are welcome to start.
How hard are we getting debated?
I guarantee I'll catch up.
I think Patrick and Jungle are ahead of you boys on the shots.
I know. Those makes 10.
And on something.
And on TV.
Jungle folds jacks.
Yeah. Clickbait, very good.
I'm never folding jacks again. I almost folded jacks in my mind. I folded jacks. Or in my mind, there was a chance I folded jacks.
So that's what you were thinking? You were pretending in your head like, okay, I have jacks right now.
Yeah, I was trying to imitate the same process that would happen with the couple. So you can't get a read on it. You can't. Like this short actually, I don't know, it's something. Yeah, nice. Not too small. I think Koray gets some reads. He's a little bit of a blind player. Tends to be an online kid.
Adams defended the big blind. Brick on the turn. Aldemir is in trouble.
I'm a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber.
A what?
YouTuber?
You're a YouTuber?
Yeah. It's not even live and online.
You're a
It's,
showman.
yes, I'm a fish, and it's good. Like that, everyone can do it, you know?
Listen, we all need to take shots.
I'm too bad already.
Oh, check on the turn.
Why not drunk enough?
I'm a healthy guy.
Aldemir is definitely gonna call whatever Adams bets, even if he overbets. And we know that Adams likes to use big sizings.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Oh, there goes the shot. Jeez.
Vodka orange.
Everyone have to drink? I feel like the only person who should be exempt is
Nobody
this guy.
has to drink, but you can do what you want.
Yeah.
Feel free. I thought this was a drinking game.
We had it yesterday, man.
Oh,
If that wasn't a drinking game, then I don't know what was.
that's how he does it.
Whoa. Wow. Okay, I was gonna say. Alright, okay. Good. The universe makes sense again. He ended up calling. He's gonna get a celebratory shot. Oh, sure. No, I don't even want Jägermeister. Give me vodka.
Are you having yours?
Why not?
I'm so sorry.
Alright, first shot in.
You need to have a shot.
No, I'm not involved. For sure,
You can't be a live pro and be the only guy.
No, I'm not like pro, I'm a YouTuber.
If you don't,
No, I don't. I'm a vodka orange. I'm a vodka orange guy.
alright.
It's okay. It's a disadvantage.
Timothy Adams is like, you need to pay your tax. Sick hustle if there's no vodka in the vodka orange. Yeah.
You are way better than me, so I have to keep
That was
my,
tequila?
my mind.
Alright. Koray Aldemir is an animal. So the rest of the table did Jägermeister.
Yeah, I crushed it.
He crushed.
How much did you win Jungle yesterday? Did you win a lot? 400?
Yeah, but somehow my balance is less than what this is.
Yeah?
Loaned out. So over 400K.
Sorry, Davidi.
Heads up.
It's funny to me that Jungleman decided to ask for the shots this time, saying, hey, let's do shots. He knows there's only one crazy finish guy here. And it's Patrik. Makes a big difference with the crowd that we had yesterday. Yeah, we all know like Antonius as, you know, super healthy, very GTO in his life approach. Does fucking yoga, working out, tennis, everything. To just see him pound away like 15 to 20 shots was... I completely not expected that. It was actually pretty cool.
What do you think of that? Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the strategy. No, what's your strategy? Like we balance all spots.
This is live from Tallinn in Estonia. Let's go.
I think this is just like something that happens every day.
We see Mizrachi here. He's gonna get out. Patrik Antonius flopping top set. Very dry board.
Don't tell Jungleman okay?
Yeah. No, you
tell him?
Yeah, see how many likes there are? That's pro Instagram right there. Yeah, it's all about the likes.
YouTube.
Big one, sir.
Actually, maybe you can give me some Instagram tips.
Instagram. Yeah, I have some. Not. It's not my main social media, but.
It's not your specialty,
Sorry.
but it's kind of like the same thing, right?
What do you mean?
Instagram and poker or whatever.
Yeah. I agree with you. I follow you on Twitter, by the way.
7 raised.
I like what you say. It's funny.
1700.
No, I like. Sometimes it's deep, sometimes funny. It's very good.
One
I
side.
like to have polarized read.
Yeah, you polarize. Very polarized. You not depolarize. You depolarize in Twitter.
Or am I depolarized?
I think.
I think I'm pretty polarized.
Now you polarize. You're right.
I got like
complete
serious
opposite.
tweets.
Yeah.
Not very serious
I'm not a good
tweets.
fan. No, but I follow.
I follow you.
You follow me?
You don't
I follow
think
you
you're very
then.
good at Twitter?
I have Twitter. Yeah. I have.
I'll follow you on Twitter.
Follow me. I follow you already.
Follow me, I follow you.
Should I follow Robert?
Yeah, I'm funny.
Is-
You have a chance to win
Robert, I
percentage of me
follow
the
Robert.
50K.
Are you really funny, Robert?
I'm pretty funny.
I feel like I've seen you tweet. That
Huh?
might be funny.
Robert Mizrachi.
I'm not sure.
Okay, now I follow Robert Mizrachi.
You gotta retweet the 50K one. You get a chance to win 2%.
Okay, where is that?
Retweet it.
Yeah, which one?
Let me see.
Yeah.
So, see.
On Twitter, Instagram, doing all this shit.
1,355 retweets.
Super, I retweet.
I need Jungleman to retweet it. I'll follow you.
Follow me. You're viral.
I'll follow you. How can I not follow this guy?
Yeah.
Coolest guy from France.
Yes, bro. Tapis payé.
This internet's so bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 4G, it's good.
4G.
Very good.
I have no G right now.
No G?
I have 0G.
Sans G?
I wish there was no phone.
Instagram's hot lately.
I hate phones.
Yes.
It actually is true.
Yes. It takes some
Destroys
time.
everything. I went to a dinner one time with 6
No,
people.
no one
Everybody
speaks.
was on the phone.
No one speaks.
Yeah, no one
Yeah,
speaks.
I know that.
And they're texting each other.
Yeah, kind of.
So
Or
crazy.
they text other people as well.
I have I know a few people that have dinners and they make everybody put their phones in like
In the box. That's very good idea. That's very good
family
idea.
dinners.
Family dinner, yeah.
Smart.
That's smart idea, yes.
I can't follow you right now, but I'll find you.
Yeah,
My internet's so
you
bad.
have not internet. When you want. Yo viral. YOHVIRAL.
Even if you beat me in a big pot, I'll still.
Yes.
This guy's getting the plugs
Yes,
in.
I have one more follower.
Yeah. What are you
Yes.
up to?
I'm here to gain follower.
You have more than
No,
Justin Bieber?
no, I don't have a lot.
He's only got like 130 million.
Yeah,
He's
just
got like
just that.
a percentage of the world.
A percentage of the world, yes.
Pictures, yeah, Instagram's more interesting.
It's unbelievable how many people. But he's an awesome.
I'm not that bad at tweeting bullshit.
9 raised 600.
Jungle and I used to battle a lot.
Online or offline?
Still battle a little bit.
I have a sick feeling in 10 years.
Bets 800.
I have a sick feeling in 10 years there'll be like devices here and everyone's going to be playing on like these.
Wow, I had also aces,
here.
but that looked like force.
And the flop will be right here.
You folded aces.
Force.
I don't think you should fold aces there. The Germans wouldn't approve.
I'm so happy I didn't shove. I almost bet all in.
Really?
Yeah, just for fun.
Try to get everyone's chips here. You got it.
5 calls. 6 checks.
It's
crying.
Timothy Adams calling him out. It's like, hey, I thought we were gonna do no staring. What the fuck are you looking at?
You just fast stare, and then you.
I'm a
But
bad
not,
guy.
not like, you
I'm
know,
very bad for
no
that.
20 seconds.
Oh my god, I'm very bad. You're gonna hate me for that. I'm very tanky guy. Yeah.
But you know, it'd be cool too if you had like devices and everyone plays, and then you have like one guy from some other country that can play and everything. Like the
Patrick.
flop.
What if you have a rule that if you tank for more than like a minute, you have to drink?
Yeah, you're shot. No, how about this? You get an extra 30 seconds, but you have to drink a shot. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's okay.
That was genius.
Oh,
No.
wow. That is good.
So maybe you have to take for like 5 minutes. You have to drink 10 shots.
I'm okay with that. I'm pretty sure for the next
Oh, I didn't even drink yet,
for
guys.
the next time we're gonna play the cash game with the shot clock.
No, shot glass.
We can do both shots and shot clock.
Yeah, you have to do a shot. If you
But
want
you
to do
can
it.
have like a, for example, it's a very fast shot clock, but then you can no time banks, but you can take in one hand, for example, you can take 2 time banks, and that's it. But
Maybe like tequila, you get an extra 10
no
seconds.
like time banks that you're gonna run out of it. But so you play fast and you take more time if you need on some
And
spots.
the overall really is giving him the stare down.
5 minutes, you take 10 shots. 5 shots. So crazy.
I don't think he's gonna see much when he's looking at Timothy Adams.
Or one time in a hand, you can take, if you can, otherwise it would be 20 seconds and you can take 30 seconds extra in some hand if you want.
Great play there by Timothy Adams.
I thought there was no staring. I mean, I'm a star guy.
How is this guy in the game? He's not taking shots, he's staring.
Yeah, I'm the worst.
Because
He's limping.
He's representing France.
He's got the French connection.
Yes.
This is French
French
poker.
connection.
Yes, this is French and Italy. I'm French Italian. I didn't choose it, guys. Half French, half Italian. The worst combination for poker, guys.
And also a little bit emotional. If you lose a little bit, you gotta kind of cry.
Yeah, I cry. Sometimes I cry.
you
If I lose 5K, I cry.
You do?
Yeah, of course. So don't make me cry, please,
I've
guys.
seen some French players cry.
Yes, I cry a lot. Huh?
I only cried
Get
20%.
Yoki in this
So
game.
it's good for the video.
Get Yoki. Please fun.
Omaha, you have all these fun games. Yeah, 2 boards. Oh, it's so much fun.
That's amazing.
Price.
Like half the people that actually play poker are not poker players. They just hold 'em players.
You're saying that all these guys are just super good.
No, they're great people, but it doesn't mean they're hold'em
They're
players.
great people, but not great players.
No, they're good hold'em
He's
specialists.
talking some serious shit. He's saying that you guys are shot focused.
No, they're hold'em players.
He's literally, I think you guys should all take shots because you just took some shots.
Oh, we got at least 3 poker
You
players.
guys have to, you're here to prove
Yeah,
that you can play.
all games. But you know what's a good game? You know what's like the real poker game? You know what's a real good poker game? Like the best game? Deuce to 7, no limit. It's the purest game. It's the best. It's all bluffing, it's all reading. It's the purest game of poker. Probably the best game.
Yeah.
And you really He throws on you.
The sickest game. Yeah, the sickest game is triple draw.
They start like,
Triple draw, pot limit, deuce to 7. That's the sickest. Actually, probably the biggest game.
In the meantime, we have a massive spot here for Timothy Adams. He flops the nuts. He was dominated by Yo Viral pre-flop, but gets there. It's also a pretty good board for Yo Viral. An 8 would be big trouble for him, but at the same time, a king would be trouble for Adams. But there's only three kings left in the deck. I think that Adams is generally gonna like that queen.
I think this whole series, this might play cash game.
It's easier to get paid off on three streets by a lot of hands now.
No point in playing the 50K. My brother wins it every year. No point.
So 8,000 in the middle. Let's see what he's gonna bet.
Yeah, he played it 6 times. He won it 3 times. It's not that bad. That's pretty good. He didn't even knock me out the first year.
6,500. It's a pair board. Rough spot for Yo Viral. Gets rid of it. I like it. Out of position. Much tougher to play.
I remember when Patrick just came in the scene. He came to Miami. It was so much fun. He's like, I don't know about these clubs. We took him partying, and then he knew all about the clubs after.
He never went back to Finland after that.
Many years ago.
He never went back to Finland.
We showed him a good time. He loved it. Miami's definitely the city to break in. Oh my god, actually coffee and shots are a good mix. It like balances out. Yeah. It's really good. 5.
Alright, so Antonius is shoving
That ace is always
110 big blinds.
yeah. That'd be something.
Wish to run the straddles and shots.
Whatever, yeah. 5.
I feel like everyone should do it though.
Shots. Who didn't do the shots? How do you do a shot?
Sorry, bro. I'm too healthy.
You're too what?
Healthy? Healthy?
Do you not drink at all?
Healthy.
No,
Come on. You can't be healthy as me. I'm
No,
all
there's no
eating
excuse if you do drink. If
Go
you're
for
someone
it.
How many times have you guys YouTuber on your table? It's very good. I mean, I'm very weak, so it's good.
You're very what?
I'm very weak. So if I drink, it's too difficult for me.
You got me to give you 1,800
There's a 5% chance that's all vodka in this, and you're just pretending.
Yes. This is a pure vodka.
There's a lot, I'll bet at 19 to 1. It's not a lot.
19 to 1?
Yeah.
Okay, how about I give you 30 to 1?
You just said there's a 5% chance.
Yeah, but I'm giving you a better line.
You're giving me 30 to 1.
Yeah, you're giving me 19. I'm giving you 30. Let's go. Let's negotiate.
Me, I do better than shot. I give you my money. That's better. That's not a lot, sorry, but that's what I have.
So Patrik,
Well, Alan.
give him back because he never played.
Yeah, we gotta do it again. We added, yeah.
Yes, okay. I'm gonna give him back his time collection. He never
Okay.
played, so we're
Okay.
just gonna do a new game.
Sounds fine. Sounds good.
Whatever you say, you're the boss.
And pick up the chips.
Yep.
And you can,
We see some strong hands on this board. The king actually makes Robert Mizrachi straight. It's 5.5k in the middle. Aldemir gonna be pretty happy with his 2 pair. Of course, the king has a spade, so that's a scare card for him. He's reaching for a value bet. He's gonna bet 2,000. 6.2. That's strange. I thought he put at 2,000.
I imagine.
Ah, there you go. 1.6. Yeah.
Not just takes.
Yeah, Rob Mizrachi not gonna overthink it too much and call. And maybe he gets a call from behind him as well. So it takes a little bit easy there on that hand. Looks like Kane Carlos is in the game.
Were you commentating on the game?
I was. Oh wow.
20 minutes. Yeah, I know. I got all the reads.
He's got all the.
You're the only one that has all.
I know exactly how you play.
He's seen all the hands. Just disclaimer for everybody. Are you open to doing a shot?
Has everybody else been
We've
doing
done a shot. We actually have one straggler. Everybody has done at least one.
That was shot was
You had one?
We all had one. He did not.
You did not. What kind of shot?
It's Jägermeister.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess I gotta do that.
If you want the welcome shot, it's right there.
And this is like a slow version as it can ever be. Like, basically, it's. I don't find it useful now,
Yeah.
but it's nice that we launch and we start having people use it and building communities very good.
Yes.
But it's going to be very practical in the future.
Yes.
I
And it's gonna be useful in France as well. Not everywhere in the world. Everywhere in the world.
Yeah, it's an app.
I played a lot worse.
Alright, so Kane Carlos getting his feet wet. I really like the raise from the small blinds. Jungleman not having it though.
They will out.
Everybody.
And even though he's smiling, it's still kind of annoying to see. You know that Jungleman is really aggressive and will, you know, do everything he needs to win pots and follow like an aggressive game plan. But it's still kind of annoying to see that he picks that hand to re-raise you with, because that just shows that you're just not going to have that easy of a time in that situation.
Mushroom coffee.
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna
You going all in?
Okay, guys, let me know when you're ready to play.
What happened?
See you later.
Just take a little break. I'll be back.
You didn't see me just 3-bet with Jack 5 suited. What do you want? What do you want from me?
I'm ready.
Plus swag, thank you for the resub. So, Jungleman is betting his double gut shots. Mizrachi has the ace of diamonds, which could be an interesting card. His ace high could be good, and with a deuce, he's most likely winning the pot. He's gonna assume his ace is good too. That's a brick. See what Jungleman does here. That's a big bet. Close the pot. Wow, great call there by Robert Mizrachi. Really correctly assesses the situation. Well played by him. Gets the best of Jungleman there.
Huh? Oh, you lost your marathon football? Oh. Oh, poker.
These cards are weird.
Yeah, right.
Why are they like red?
Play with the French cards.
Yeah. Valet.
Valet, yeah.
V.
It's crazy that one year I went there in Partouche. I didn't know what I had. It was like
Yeah.
R, Q, it's crazy.
Yeah, D, dame.
V is valet.
No, D. V is valet, and
Dama,
D is dame.
Roi.
Et roi.
The whole night before we were studying and all the Americans were like, okay, Roi is this.
Yeah, because then
But then
it's...
you have a straight, you're like, holy shit, you need a Roi, a Dama, a V guy, a 10, and an ace.
Yes, it's like that.
It's
Every
so weird,
casino.
and then you're looking, and it's so easy. The French people are laughing at us because it's so easy
Yeah,
to
for,
read
for,
us.
for us, it's very easy.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Oh, 1 hour. Right, it's like 800, like 1,000 kilometers. 800 kilometers. Never been there. I wanted to go.
Could see a little bit of a clash here. King Cal is going for raising chips. Looks like he's making 18 or 1900. He's dominated. Jungleman seems interested. The sweat. He's gonna 4-bet.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I love about every country, because everything's different. The food's different, the people are different. Everything's different. That's what I love about it.
Looks like 5200.
It's good to discover and travel. Traveling is my favorite. But it's tough with kids.
It's kind of cool that we don't know Jungleman's hand in this case, because if we knew, I think a lot of people in chat as well would just think, oh, you know, of course we have to do this, or of course this is a fold with ace queen. But if you look at it from Aldemir's perspective, you just see a guy that's willing to play on the button, and then one of the most aggressive regs in the game there. And I guess we're gonna see the hands possibly.
You have it again?
That was a snap call there, so Aldemir did go for it.
How many times? Twice?
That looks like queens. Yeah, it looks like queens for Jungleman. So Jungleman again, getting the best of it in this scenario. Last time it was up against Timothy Adams. He had to chop though with aces versus tens after they ran it twice. Ace is dead for Aldemir as well.
Wow, of course, Johnny, he's gonna hit one. Yeah, of course. You're gonna hit one.
Man, I really I like how aggressive Aldemir plays. But he ran into it here. Some of the weakest spots to be facing a 4-bet. You raise from an aggressive position. The button, the most aggressive position in the game, re-raises you. And then one of the best aggressive players pops it up in the small blind. So really hard to be folding ace queen there, but alright, so that's the first board. That one's for Jungleman. Last time he lost the second one. 40k in the middle. He actually... Oh, he has a spades. Spade or queen. Wow, so Jungleman again only winning half the pot. Aldemir pretty stoked about that one. Nice 2-outer on the second one for him.
You're welcome. It means exactly you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome.
I have a better word.
Which one?
Noni.
Noni.
In Finnish.
I'm Finnish.
It's the best Finnish word. Noni.
What does that mean in Finnish?
He knows how to explain it better than me.
I don't know.
It just means like,
Random.
it can mean a million different things.
Yeah, okay.
What does it mean? Like, what is
It can be anything.
There's like a famous Finnish comedian that does a bit on it. It's really good.
It's like Mela in
The way you say it can mean different things in different contexts.
Okay.
It means like, it can be like, okay, or like, you know, you're just like affirming something, like, okay. Or it can be like let's go. It can,
It's like, yeah, when things start, you say like it's like Noni, like now it's starting. Or I don't know.
there's a lot of pauses in like Finnish dialogue between Finns because they're not really small talking, so there's like a lot of like awkward silence. So it's like shaking the head, noni, like
Noni.
noni, like let's go. Or sorry,
I want to go there. That's one country. I'm waiting for Patrik.
Me too.
you're go while you're here. Yeah, 2 hour boat ride.
2 hour boat ride? That sounds nice. The craziest thing I've ever heard in Finland is that you get pulled over. It depends on how much money you make. That's how much your ticket is. So if you work at McDonald's, it's like $5. If you work for like a big, if you're an entrepreneur, it could be like a $10,000 ticket.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
There's a crazy story about a Finnish guy, this hockey player. He played for Toronto.
About-
He got pulled over, and he said he was unemployed because it was like during the summer. And then they found out. I mean, he had like a 40k ticket or something.
Oh, that's crazy.
The biggest story was a CEO in Finland getting a ticket, and he had to pay over 100k.
So if you're a police officer and you get someone like works at like McDonald's, you just should leave because what's the point? Like wasting time.
Still gonna be like,
You just follow the people that have a lot of money, so in case they speed.
I think it's insane. It's crazy.
So Jungleman gives up here. Sorry, Antonius gives up here. Had a backdoor flush draw.
No bluff, no bluff. Nani.
Noni.
Noni.
That's when you say.
You like when I say Noni? Noni.
Yeah, that was good.
This is the first PAPC event. It's a Patrik Antonius Poker Challenge. It's powered by the new app that they launched called the First Line of Poker, Flop. It's an interactive app where people can see casino games that are running, what casinos are in any town that they visit, or if they're from a town and they want to get a game together, people can apply on the app to play with each other. know if there's an interest for 510. It's pretty cool. Let's say there's like, you know that there's like gonna be like 40, 50 people that are interested in like a 1-3 or 2-5 game, and people can say like, hey, I kind of feel like playing. Now you have a way of communicating that to each other. Whereas normally you would always just have to hope that people are going to the casino and do it. Casinos, of course, can also broadcast what they have running, what the tournament series is that they have going on. It's up, Occlusus.
You want to know what I have? It'll be on TV in a half.
Too late to look. Jungle, you ready?
Ready for what? I'm ready for anything.
We're gonna do a round of shots.
Oh!
Vodka.
I like that.
It's
You
Patrick's
guys
choice.
pick. You're the guest. Yeah, vodka's fine.
Vodka's good with me.
I prefer. I don't know.
Jaeger.
Well, you gotta wait until
Jaeger.
Me?
Jägermeister, let's fucking go.
two shots.
Just for suggesting that.
How much? 17.
Jungle, are you looking up
5-deuce.
right now? You're just looking at like.
So I mean, like,
Alright. We might see a call here from Timothy Adams. He's out of position. He has 500 invested. It's an anti-game, of course, that all plays a part. They're super deep. 7-6 suited. It's very unlikely to be dominated.
Yes. You go. Just go out and.
Well, that's the kind of flop he's looking for. Jungleman's not going to be happy with this flop, so it's going to be hard to make some money, but you never know what happens. If the turn is an ace or a king, then this pot can really explode. If it's a card that Jungleman wants to represent, we're gonna have to wait a bit for that. But it still looks reasonably safe for ace king.
I do this for you. Emoji. It's warm now. That's how it works now. Check.
I'm gonna check again. Oh, that's a bad card for action.
It's better. Yeah, you kill me if you need that.
Why? You like to.
Yes, I like that. 4,000.
Alright, 4,000.
It works for you.
You gotta induce me to make bad plays just for thanking.
It's not for that.
Chocolate.
It's not for that.
You know, a lot of people, for sure, they make bad plays because they just get irritated.
Yeah. But it's not for that. Yeah. I like to just think about.
These are like these coin toss spots against good players, where if you call and you lose, you think, oh yeah, of course. But if you fold, then you think, did I just get exploited there?
This is not good, yes.
If you all start to do it, the game is gonna be the first game.
On the long run, it's like that, yes.
So we gotta change.
The problem is it's also kind of obvious that you have high cards. So when you have the nut high cards
Take time when you need to take, but fuck it, don't take.
and you fold it to a pot bet, it feels like people could just always bet and get you to fold.
So we think every hand.
But in general, for poker, it's
Not good, yes.
a couple of things that has been taken in the game.
Good folds. You see, he's not happy. Even after folding, he's just not happy with it, and exactly the feeling that I was describing.
With French commentary as well.
Also wanna let us play.
Hollow Knight does not play. Bring Lex Live to Dublin? That's a possibility, of course, in the future. Alright, so we see Jungleman flopping Kane Call is close to dead. King caught us with top pair. He's gonna bet 1300 here. This is a 3-bet pot. That's a brick on the turn. That's the kind of bet you do not want to see. 6,000, so almost full pot bet. And this is a recurring theme what you see with a lot of the good players these days. It's small bet flop, pot bet turn. It puts you in such a difficult situation. And you know that Jungleman is an excellent player. If he has a hand like King Queen with a spade, he's also going to put this much pressure. Wow, it's a really good fold. This is also one of those situations where you just kind of feel like you're getting exploited. It really helps that in worst case scenario though, your opponents will have a flush draw. That's the very worst case scenario. That is best case scenario, excuse me.
I'm just tilting because I would have lost club the flush, but you went to 3-bet it. So I didn't want to play.
Do I miss the high stakes days? Yeah, of course. It brought like a really cool tension always and a thrill playing. But what I honestly like what I do now better. I still get to play some really high stakes sometimes online, but just the interaction and the social aspect of streaming is just surpasses anything that I've experienced in poker before. So also like Lex Live had like an old school EPT feeling to where people would just hang out in the bar till late at night and then play day 2 the next day, and they would do the same. And if, you know, it's just always like 20-30 people around that you could hang out with. It's just like not the same anymore when you travel for poker. So that was really good to see. Right, so oh, that's an insta fold there from Yo Viral. He's not gonna get involved.
I appreciate.
It's not me that raises, it's the vodka.
It's the vodka.
Oh, I can.
Jungleman with a legit hand here. Him and Robert Mizrachi are really deep. As you can see, Robert Mizrachi has 50k in front of him. Oh, that's the call. And Tony's gonna come along too with the ace-4 suited. So Mizrachi flops best. Antonius going to be pretty short on 5s here with Mizrachi having 2 of them. So we're gonna go to the turn 3-way. Mizrachi's not gonna be too happy with Antonius calling behind him. He's still out front though, but it's almost impossible for him to know this at this point. Jungleman is gonna give up. He's out of position. Wow, this is a great assessment of the situation by Rob Mizrachi. That's 7k.
Il veut voir la river. Il veut voir la river.
You guys are drawing dead.
You have better than what do you have?
You guys can't call a turn. He's drawing dead.
That was excellent, excellent play there by Rob Mizrachi. Gets it done. Shots.
Time for shots.
It's the vodka speaking. So
Okay, guys.
all right.
Throw this away too.
This is for
Enjoy today.
enjoy life for the FLOP, for the PPAC,
Jungle, you can have.
and for the guy that's drinking orange juice.
Vodka orange.
I feel like other
Tequila
Cheers,
orange.
guys.
Cheers, guys.
To a beautiful journey in life, and
Who picked these?
hopefully you look like Patrick and I when you turn 40.
Yeah. Hopefully. Go.
I didn't pick this drink.
It was your round.
Team of it.
No, it was your round. It was your shot choice.
It was your shot. You picked vodka.
You picked what?
It's so plain.
What we gonna drink? But I like
I wouldn't
shots
pick vodka
instead of, no, like, crazy.
Why don't you do lemon? That doesn't hurt. It's like it's lemon with like I don't even know what's inside.
It's like liqueur, right?
Yeah.
Like it's very.
No. You like something light, you know? Nothing that'll hurt you.
Espresso I can do. Shot of espresso. Double. Italian way.
Jungle, how?
Prego.
Only when you're playing live poker and they force you. That's what you're doing tonight. Kinda, yeah.
What's their time zone? This is way too early for shots. It's 6:30 where they are. So you be the judge of that. Is this shot number 3? It is, right?
Jungle, you gonna cheer with us? Or?
Who's drinking? Who's not drinking? Why is drinking?
One guy, French, only French in it.
Okay.
I'm not drinking.
It's kipis.
Kipis. Finish.
Alright, that sounds disgusting.
You still haven't defined. You still haven't told us what that.
Alright, nice.
No need.
I like this.
I'm gonna probably can't even choose.
Bang! 3.
Would you listen to
They're so much better than vodka.
Yeah.
They're still good too.
For some reason, I don't know. Jaeger always kind of nauseates me now. Oh, what my favorite shot is. There's this really good shot that I like. It has, it's called a Baby Guinness because it's Bailey's. Fuck, what is the dark liquor underneath it? Because when you pour it, it looks like, you know, a Guinness because it's dark in the bottom and it has like a little bit of
there's subtitles. There's actually
Bailey's on top.
you can watch it.
Kahlua, no, not sure.
We need subtitles. These, like where?
Tia Maria, I think that's the one, yeah. Try Fireball, it's the worst. I think I'll pass. It's like, here, taste this, it's disgusting. No. Just not gonna do it.
I had it.
Rob was just disappointed.
That was original though. I swear that was original.
Rob was just disappointed he wasn't in the game yet.
Yeah. It's okay. I was happy to play for the 2 hours.
What did you, how many shots did you have to do when you showed up?
6.
Oh, Patrick, you gave him a better deal than he gave me. That's what I said, eh? 6. You told me 7.
Well, because you're.
I don't remember what I was texting, but I thought it was 6. In a row. I told him.
Alright, so with Jungleman as middle pair, Antonius is a king eye flush draw. Mizrachi absolutely whiffs the board there. Antonius definitely opening up a little bit. I think he wants some action. He's been the instigator in taking shots, and it's cool to see.
Jungle with the killer rook. He was going for check raise bluff. On these kind of boards,
Really sure.
I was not gonna fold this thing.
I wasn't gonna give up either.
Never gonna fold that.
I saw it. It's
You saw it?
fuck.
You know what? I couldn't stop laughing when I got to my room yesterday. My friend sent it to me.
It's very different.
I couldn't stop laughing. I was watching it over and over again.
Probably lost like 40 pounds.
So drunk. I was just.
What?
I watched
It's
it like
Sampo.
50 times. And I kept laughing so hard.
Sampo's initiating it. He's the one that starts it.
They're,
Yeah, but Patrick has really good stuff. Actually, I played him in Bahamas. He didn't let me play him. Never let me play you, and then you let me play for the first time.
I'll let you what?
Play tennis. You think I'm like really bad?
Oh no, you were playing poker. You were crushing all the fun. You were
you're
always
crushing.
playing. No, but you wanted to play so early. I played late. You were in the tournament every time.
If we play in a World Series, I'm gonna win the race series.
If you play tennis,
Yeah, I need to play every day.
then we're gonna
Remember
play.
the indoor tennis? Is that still?
It's really nice indoor tennis in there.
Alright, so here we see Timothy Adams. Defends the big blind, flops pretty well. Some backdoor straight draws, but he has middle pair. Ken Callis absolutely smashes the board.
Did you enjoy the Miami Open? It's nice.
Yes, but I didn't go so many days, but it was. I love to go the first round when it's a lot of matches on smaller courts and watch them. It's like very intense. Yeah, I enjoy that the more. I enjoy it.
Right, so he gets a call. That's actually the one card that Callis doesn't want to see. Adam's not going to be too happy with that one either. There's definitely going to be some ace-high hands that are going to bluff with this flop after raising from early position. Callis just going to check. It's very hard for him to get called by weaker on that turn. That's a really good card. Both players are going to be pretty happy to see the ace pair. It's more unlikely somebody has an ace.
It's time to start runner straddles because I feel like we have to get some all-ins, huh? Now we're playing the game that who's gonna put the least chips in the pot. And who's winning the game? Who's the champ? Who put the least chips in the pot?
I think I might be all in soon.
So Adams makes a nice block bet, which saves him a lot of money potentially. If he checks there, Kane Callis is going to bet a lot bigger. And from Kane's perspective, it's really hard to get value there with that specific hand. So well done by Timothy Adams. Very smart.
I'll give anybody 3-1. I win the bracelet in the mixed game over a whole game.
I'm just gonna have this running in the background.
I'd probably give 10-1. Probably the 2 odds are probably 50.
Did Jungle see this too?
What? Let's see what.
Sampo and Hillary?
What happened?
Sampo and Hillary? Giving each other a nice
Giving each other what?
some loving?
Did you miss it out also yesterday?
No, they didn't.
Yeah, we're sitting right next to him. Jungle, you missed it out? I missed it out completely. I saw it when I came back.
I don't know how much of this I want to see.
Be open-minded, Jungle.
I mean, I'll see a little, but it's not my cup of tea.
It's not a cup of tea.
No, oh my god, okay, that's enough for me.
Jungle,
I've seen it.
Jungle, open up your mind. I want you to watch it 3 times in a row.
You're a weird guy. You're a weird guy. It's not my case.
especially now. Since now they're not open to it.
I'm in.
The official after party. So okay,
Patrick,
party
After
here.
party's not here?
It's in
the
a
party's
club.
here.
Theater. This place it's gonna
The players'
be.
party is here.
We start here.
We start
We
here.
just start a warm up.
No, we're not partying
And
tonight.
then,
We're
then
just
we
gonna
go.
go home and relax.
It's a really nice place.
Sounds good, huh?
No party.
They just made
Lots
an
of,
announcement,
lots
right?
of. We have good music. Live drummer, live saxophone guy, good DJ. A lot of nice girls.
I'm in.
A lot of nice people.
Collaborator's girls card. Tell me more, Patrick. I'm just
Then when I heard the saxophone guy, I was thinking of this guy who
Huh?
competed at the Eurovision Song Contest a couple of years ago. Is that
Okay.
Alright, Kings.
Estonia?
So we have an undergun raise, and then we have two flat calls with big hands.
I knew it existed, but I didn't think about it. I didn't know. I mean, I just
Didn't know anything about it.
no. I mean, I didn't even.
Well, that could have been trouble. If Antonius 3-bets there, I'm sure that
Just like,
yo Viral is gonna 4-bet.
go to Finland after.
It's interesting to overcall with Kings from the hijack.
Or Macedon. Moldova.
Is that $1.70?
1700.
Tapi,
Yeah.
show one card.
No.
Come on, I'm gonna watch it on TV anyway.
Yeah, we
One
want to
card.
see one. So has some.
Oh my God, Suka.
Suka bliet.
I think you
It's
just
up
have a
to me.
choice.
We're
If you
gonna
want
start
2
drinking
cards, 3
right
cards,
now.
or 4 cards.
Play PLO.
I thought 3 cards would be funny.
If you want
I
two
think
cards, you gotta
you're-
straddle.
Actually, that'd be a good game.
If you
We
don't
play.
straddle, you only get one card.
We play tie. You take away 1 card. You play whole.
I think
cards,
you'd be
go
so
away.
good at
What?
like poker, not just hold'em, that you just destroy that.
I'm old already.
But you play all the games.
That doesn't mean I play them well.
I know you do.
It's like saying Whitney Houston's still a great singer.
She is.
She is though. You guys are like Justin Bieber and I'm Whitney Houston. Or whatever.
Are you saying that Justin Bieber is better than
No, I'm just saying that.
So nobody makes a pair on this flop.
No, he's amazing. I mean, he's only got 150 million followers. What is that like?
There it is.
2%.
Timothy Adams pulling out ahead. So people with straight draws.
Follows him? Well, no, I'm kind of it's a little. Yeah, 2% of the world follows him. That's pretty sick. 1 out of 50 people follow Justin Bieber in the world. More. 7 billion people. 2 points. Wow. 1 out of 48 people in the world follow him.
Wow.
Probably nobody under 10.
Math
follows him.
live on TV.
what does that mean?
Huh? You follow him?
No.
Yeah.
You follow him?
No.
Alright.
What percentage of the world follows Robert?
Gonna get it taken down, so nice little stab there by Yo Viral.
AKA the Fawn.
Bluff.
Not many.
That
90% of the world.
I'm looking it up. Not even Sim knows this one.
4 raised 600.
Not even Sim himself.
So we see again Yo Viral calling with a really big hand. Pre-flop. That's twice now that he slow played a really strong hand.
Punishing the YouTubers.
Patrick, have you been playing tennis? You been playing any tennis?
I played a little bit in Miami.
You're feeling better?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I have no
5 goes
no
low.
really physical
Can we do
problem.
twice? It's okay for you?
You're running twice
I have 7.
Why don't you just knock
Alright. Give somebody a sweat. Yeah, we have 4 different suits actually.
Oh, that's it.
Yikes.
Okay, that's out.
Alright, second run.
Veldhuis.
That's me, of course.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Patrick, you need to play the,
King Black, Black. Oh
you
my
need to play
god.
the Vegas Olympics this year.
Oh yeah, you told me about it.
Alright, we doing it? What's the deal?
Okay, you guys wanna really see it going down?
let's do it.
It's so
Come on!
fishy. His is warm and mine is cold. No, it's-
Nice boys.
Alright.
oh my god, this
I'm
guy.
getting drunk already. I've been drunk.
I don't
What is-
drink
Boom. Yo, it's not a nipper.
Cheers, Jungle. It's gonna be a long night.
It's gonna be a long night.
I think you're right about 3. More to think about.
Oh wow, he went back for the little bit that was left. That's a soldier right there.
Kane, you're not?
Is that your favorite song?
My shot was Sim.
Here.
Is that your favorite song? Welcome to the jungle.
What's the word for cheers in
It's a
Finnish?
good song.
Nani.
That's oh wait shit. There's still a micro liter left in there.
Santé.
Come on, Jaeger man. Is that your favorite song? Welcome to the jungle.
No need. No need.
Patrick's a pro at it.
Bullying me around.
Yeah, I'm still like.
And I had it every time.
Just
I'm
good as
watching
like a backup.
TV.
So, like,
Someone,
nibble on.
people are texting me, Patrick Street betting you with 6'4" offsuit. 7'5". He's fucking taking. They're like, he's taking advantage of you, bro.
So you guys are getting audio?
I have no info.
The
Jungle
next day,
Man.
everyone came and they were laughing at me.
Seven-deuce.
But at least I made it to the grass. That's pretty good. I mean, so since then I haven't got drunk.
Lost the memory that night.
There's no seven-deuce game going on.
I think it's the same night. I don't even remember. Feels like it. Oh my god, you get 1,000 from every player.
That's
You know that, right? 1,000 from every player.
I was running with
You didn't know?
how much was that?
2200.
Seven-deuce?
Hey, 1,000 from every player.
That's well, how much? Yeah, what's the?
How much was it?
Let's agree on this
Patrick,
after.
give 1,000, we owe him 1,000.
We can play that. It's okay for me. If you
No,
want
no,
to play that, we can play
How
that.
much the highest we paid was like insane for the 7.
Yeah.
So we have played like crazy games where everybody seems like 50k.
So are you gonna play the 7-deuce game? That would open up the action.
That's what I'm okay. If you want, we can play that.
Even
Even the French guy, Johan,
Johan.
Yo viral.
Patrick, let's play the 7-deuce game.
How much are each?
Not too much, not too much.
Any amounts.
Like one blind?
1k each?
No, 1k each. No, it's way too much for the game. What about
I think
this?
that's too much.
One blind?
Right?
It's okay.
500 each?
500.
Alright, 500.
500 each.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see if I'm sure.
500 each.
Good. One blind is too little.
Oh yeah, if you win the pot, you get it no matter what.
Yeah. 500. Okay, 500.
500
Does
each.
that have
All
to
right,
be
500
soft?
seven-deuce game on.
Is it suited or offset?
Like
Any
king 10
hand,
or something.
any 5-7.
I saw he
No,
had a
not
king,
five,
like a
seven,
face
seven
card,
deuce.
and like a 10 or something.
Really? Yeah.
Only offsuit, right?
No, just now.
No, it could be suited.
Wait. Only offsuit. No.
It could be
Everything.
any seven. Any seven.
Really?
Yeah. Starting next hand.
I think 500 each is a lot. Yeah, I think as well, but
I will do 377.
what?
I'm just kidding.
Okay. No, I
You
did.
want to do 500? I don't. Doesn't matter. It only hurts for a second.
That's the old school gambler right there. Only hurts for a second.
All right, next shot. Ready?
Alright, so Tony's gonna check call. Ace Jack here. He did get 3-bet before the flop. The Adams made it 2,000. It's not gonna be too happy. A lot of times on these boards, you just hope your opponent check folds. Is done with it.
Can we get an each stream? 5G. Somebody has it.
Mix a pair.
is what I started. You can all give me money for starting.
Patrik betting very small. It's not actually get him called sometimes.
You can give me money.
He's gonna call pre-flop with all the queen 10, jack 10, queen jack. Whoa, what?
I just did. I just showed you.
Alright. Timothy Adams is such an insane boss.
Shit. I believe you all owe me money.
Okay. Alright. Alright. What a move.
Tim showing up, taking his dick out. That's what just happened.
He's just thinking to himself, you know what? I think if you have a king, you're betting bigger. You're just kind of block betting. You're happy with your ace. You're trying to squeeze some value out of me. I'm not having it. Man, what a move. Regardless if this works or not, just playing against this is such a massive headache. Patrik hates his life here. So he's putting Patrik all in, so Patrik has 16.7k. This is a very tough call to make. I can't exactly see how much it'd be for. This is why Timothy Adams is one of the best. Lots of people, almost everyone would just think, is my 5 good or not? Is my opponent gonna have queen jack, jack 10, those sort of hands enough for me to call here? He's just like, you know what? Fuck your 1500. I'm all in.
I would like to check it out. I might check it out like first inviting me over. Oh, you know,
Wow, he makes the call. That's such a great call too.
travel through South Africa together. Tim was fucking around, but Patrik.
Wow. This is some incredible poker. Just like that, the action just blows up. 43k pot. Love that bluff with Timothy Adams. Didn't get it through though, but
Against you, yes. Just ask Bank of Jungleman. Make it 1200.
Raise.
alright, so there's a straddle this hand.
Check 9. Check 2.
Antonius flops an open ender. Mizrachi is getting a little bit tricky. Checking the nut flush draw. Jungleman with 2 overs and a gut shot to the nut straight. Mizrachi's actually Mizrachi's actually checking and now min raising it to 3k, so he's clicking it back. Antonius gets there. Mizrachi really isn't afraid to fire. 5,500 now. About 40% pot. He is invested in a pot in the big blind. That means that he's gonna have a lot of different hands, more so than other positions. Ooh, that's a club, so Mizrachi makes a nut flush. Going for a very small bet with it. He's been betting all the way. Let's see if Antonius considers a raise. He's just gonna call. Wow, that's a big pot though. Big pot from Mizrachi. 32,000 euros.
You kidding me with that board? You're never raising me without a straight or a I mean, single. Yeah, I guess.
I think.
You think?
I'm pretty sure.
Do the matches now.
No, I just
I would believe you if you said you did the matches now.
tee off the eyeballs.
It's not that unlikely it's like one in the
You have a straddle.
It's not a straddle, no.
I think wood and head.
Is that right?
28.
Raise 2,000, 800, seat 4, 45.
So Adam's opened under the gun. Has the decision to make here. Has the exact same hand Antonius does. Gonna put the money in. King Carlos gets out of the way with the ace jack.
Good luck.
Antonius calls.
Ace queen.
No good.
Same.
Queens.
Ace queen.
Are we gonna run this or what? Look for the TV one time, right?
Yeah, of course.
You go for the split.
I can't get over the fact how he turns the card. Look, look. Whoa!
Oh man.
Looks reversed. La reversée.
600 raise seat 8. 2,000 raise seat 9. 42.
Oh man.
You off again.
Full 6.
It's a Jungleman again.
I think it's automatic.
Re-raising in position. King Carlos.
I wish
No, I
Been
believe.
doing this quite a bit.
I got it.
10-8 suited, Jack 5 suited, and now King 9 suited.
Fast forward, so it's gonna connect.
It's automatic.
Yeah, I can see you now. You're blue.
And they are playing the 7-deuce game, so if somebody wins a pot with 7-deuce, the whole table has to pay that person 500.
Here we go.
That's nice, the picture.
I take 10k.
Your biggest
Full
fan.
seat 8.
My girlfriend's cat. Your biggest
Kane is
fan.
gonna make the call.
You 90.
Yeah, but I got
You have it written down.
big 8
And that's a flop for Jungleman, top 2.
30 now.
But I owe you.
How does it work? You owe me, but does it or no?
Well, it's coming out of your account so far. What I owe you? 50 from the tournament. 30 plus 10.
It was 80 before this, but I got already 60 from Veldhuis.
Ah, okay.
He just gave me 60.
He gave you 60. So now.
Jungleman has been hitting some monsters in these re-raise pots.
Yeah. So I owe you 50. Okay.
I might have queen jack. Might have a king high flush.
600 raise seat 9. 42.
I like this smile. I like this smile. I'm not 3-betting because I know you're playing. Are we playing the 7-deuce?
Not that ridiculous.
Are we on?
We are.
How much? 500?
Pushing on, man.
Right now we are, yeah.
2-9.
Raise 2,900 seat 5. Fold. Seat 6. Seat 7.
Kind of changes. Okay, new hand. That could be a 7-deuce. New hand.
I would have called with the 7-deuce, play post flop.
That's a strong play.
These are lucky chips, though. Thank you.
People always expect people to 3-bet with 7-deuce and stuff. But you can also just check raise a flop. You have to be balanced.
And there's only 2 betting rounds, so
Yeah,
it's not so bad. It's not.
42.
I know the 5 card draw. It's kind of the same.
But no limit is different because you only get 1 draw, so the hands are.
Call seat 6.
Joviral gonna limp 10-8 suited. Oh my god, Jungleman has 7-deuce. This is why the game. This is just such a good game. There are 16 more hand combinations that are just gonna make a lot of action, and gonna try to go all the way. It's actually kind of insane if what you need to, how much you need to take that into account. After the flop on the river, when somebody's going all the way on a board, there's always a chance somebody has 7-deuce. Oh. He hits a 7, so he actually has the best of it. It doesn't even matter if it's a bluff. Even if you flop a boat and you win a hand, the rule goes.
700 bet C9.
I got bad news.
No.
The 7-deuce. He's got the 7-deuce.
There you go. Everybody has to pay 500, so that's nice. A nice extra little 3k there for Jungleman. I've been in some games where we played the 9-deuce game as well. If you won a pot with 9-deuce, you received $920 from everybody. But if you bet the river, every time a river bet was called or a bet, people would have to show. If you would get called and you had to show the 9-deuce, you had to pay everybody at the table $920. That was pretty crazy as well.
Looks like an anti-GPO hand.
Echo 6.
Don't think that one is very playable.
Check 2.
Check.
Check 4. Check 5.
Yes, this would be a good flop for 9-deuce. Alright, so really cool check raise here by Mizrachi. Middle pair gets rid of high cards. Kind of protects his hand as well. Has to check on the ace.
Check 2.
6.
Yeah, it does look like Timothy Adams has a little bit more than the graphics show. Especially now, the stack is over 20,000. Alright, Timothy Adams making it 500. Koray Aldemir. Seems like his stack is pretty accurate. Still 80 big blinds.
Raise 1,667. Bet.
7-deuce for Yo Viral. Oh man. And this is exactly where this game gets interesting. Now, think about normal situations. If you can make people fold, you win an extra 3,000 euros at the table. You win an extra 15 big blinds. Just to have that added profit, that's complete dead money. That's in a possible positive outcome. That's why 7-deuce for a game like this is really good. Alright, he's gonna go for it. And this is gonna get some credit. I'm not saying it's gonna work, but it should get some credit. Because Yo Viral hasn't really been getting out of line. Oh man. Oh, Koray's gonna flat this. Oh my god, actually, that's my favorite option to see. Because now we get to see if he truly goes for it, right? Because he still has initiative. Maybe he gets it done. Maybe he outs flop. Oh my, he actually might get it done. That is crazy. This is definitely one of the boards. Wow, Yoviral is gonna check. I think that's a very plausible line for if you flop. Let's say you have ace-4 diamonds here, and you were bluffing. Very good hand to 4-bet bluff with, like he did. Oh my god, he hits the jack on the turn. Oh wow, okay. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm excited. Oh man, poor Yoviral though. I mean, that's like one of those spots where you could truly consider folding 7-deuce pre-flop because early position opens, guy behind it 3-bets. It's just like tall order, but oh man, and I think that, I mean, he checks again. He's gonna have to stab at some point. I mean, look at it this way. You have a board that you have a ton of fold equity on. You don't have to bet big to get folds because you 4-bet pre-flop, and you win an extra 3k. Plus, it's insane for your table image as well to win it. People really appreciate people really going for it. Wow. Okay.
Sick if you have 7 years.
Alright, I'm actually really surprised that Yoviral is not taking a stab on an ace-high board.
Patrick said we only have an hour left.
He has a ton of hands that he can credibly represent. It's a very advantageous board for him. Yeah, I don't really think that you can... I agree with the chat there. I don't think you can 4-bet with 7-deuce and then give up on an ace-high board. Because to be honest, when you see that ace-high board there, in my mind, you just think, oh yes, you know, oh my god, this is amazing. I actually get it done because of how much you can represent. Hey, the boys. Bang.
Tim from the streets of Berlin in his mom's basement, running all the simulations.
To the good people in our lives.
That's a nice toast.
French showman. Bringing the show to where are we? Estonia, yeah. Estonia.
After 7 shots, we're still in Estonia?
Patrik Antonius poker challenge. And there he is. Now we're playing against Patrik Antonius on his own felt. We're taking him down.
The guy raised same time.
And of course,
He gets 3 bet because
You
he
guys
says he's
good?
40 years old and he's been playing poker since forever. And he's
old school.
this is his 18th best game.
17.
17th.
I got
best
better
game.
today.
You got better. Now he's the 17th best
Cheers.
game as of today on the PAPC. And yeah, we're all drinking. You have to show yourself.
Yeah, you can't do a live stream without
Here's my shot. All right, we're all drinking. So here's my shot.
Doesn't know how to reverse the camera. Sad face.
Fuck.
I'm 40 and I can still not drink everybody.
Throwing it all across his face. Oh yeah. Nice.
Hey, why not?
Alright, so Yoviral now 3-betting with the Jack 10. He's actually dominating Patrik.
If you're a poker player, if you're a YouTuber, you hit me.
Well, one last thing. I still haven't drank my shot. I'm gonna drink it right now. I just pulled it for a second. One last thing. Most of these guys are
Both players flop a pair.
You gotta show the tournament players who flop on the stream.
This game was so good, some people got knocked out of the tournament today to play.
That one I can't use. That one was too shit. Wait, are you telling me I choose 7? Huh? How much is it? $250. Oh man.
Oh, you won?
Yeah.
Oh, 7-deuce too.
That's always the worst when somebody points out that 7-deuce makes something strong when you're playing a pot because it really fucks with your head. Makes you really paranoid.
Times are tough, buddy. These aren't the soft streets of Austria. No more. You're on a felt with Estonia. You're on a Patrik Antonius poker challenge.
And Antonius is gonna put the money in. This is a pretty big shove. I mean, there is clubs on the board.
Guys, do we
You
come
took
all?
her to the muck.
Do we travel from all the world to play with Patrick, or to
Should have
support
the
Patrick?
7-deuce, I guess.
Jungle, what do you think?
What?
You flew from on the other side of the wall to play with Patrick, or to support Patrick?
More to support.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
Wait, were you in Miami? I was in fucking Miami too.
Antonius is down to 2 outs.
That's why we need flop to
That's why you
connect.
gotta follow us on Twitter.
On
You
the
would know.
flop, we can all
I followed Patrick on Twitter.
connect.
Now I'm following you.
Yeah, but Patrick doesn't even go out. He didn't even know his password.
You know, Miami's pretty sweet. If I can find, huh?
Beautiful.
Yeah. If I could find more reasons to go there, I would do it.
Besides the humidity, the hurricanes, it's amazing. I love it. I'd rather live in Florida than
Oh my god, he lays it down.
7-deuce, man.
No, you don't.
He gets him to fold. A 10. Oh man, he's gonna be sick about that one.
3 of hearts. I didn't see the other kind.
It's amazing what alcohol does for the poker game. It does good things.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Should have drink.
You find more plays for sure on your playbook. Put everything in my head. It's the most powerful computer there is.
Right.
Patrick might be the math.
Now they don't even allow software no more.
Might
Who's
secretly
ever
be the
gonna
math the whole time.
change, buddy? Who's back? No more tournaments for me.
7-deuce. Man, these 7-deuce hands are really exciting. Jungleman has gotten it done before. Man, he has the kind of hands that against him that he can make fold. He's out of position though, but the nice thing, if you're out of position, people will assume that you're going to make it very big pre-flop. So even if he makes it like 3k, he makes it 2800.
No, I never went to Florida.
Never been there. Two of my buddies from France went
Yeah?
with Ben and Eli Marciano.
But I'm Polak.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's my buddy.
he's
Yeah.
a celebrity now. Big time. He's nice. I took a train with him before he.
He's so nice.
Oh, he's a
My
great
good
guy.
friend. Yeah.
I took a train with him from Paris to Cannes.
Yeah.
Or Nice, yeah. It was fun.
And it's actually really interesting that he blocks one of Koray Aldemir's 7s.
Marciano,
All he needs to do is make sure that Koray doesn't flop a pair.
Yeah. In Barcelona. Yeah.
he's a nice guy, but
And he can take it down. Well, that's 6. It's actually, this is one of the flops that you might want to get out of the way. Impossible to play turns on. Because usually if you call a bet here on a 6,
200k straight.
you're going to fold the turn. Even if the turn is like a 5, you're going to end up folding a lot. It's just too much to just put somebody on ace king or ace jack. And Jungle is going to take it easier. Let's see if he goes for a barrel on a future street. With the late continuation bet.
In my life, I never looked. Thank God. That would be really.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's a bad.
Well, people think they're the best in the world, so they want to blame someone else besides them for their mistakes. I understand. A lot of people are superstitious and this and that. Oh my God, an Asian dealer is here. Let me get out.
See what Koray Aldemir wants to do.
I know one dealer that Doyle has lost at least 10 million.
Let's check, check.
He did it by accident.
Jungle is gonna fire the delayed continuation bet now. It's a pretty reasonable card. People are gonna expect to pick up some equity. Of course, if you hit the 9, a jack will also make a straight.
Tied to Doyle. Doyle is really one of a kind.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Imagine the guy's 85. He's playing the biggest games like mixed games and Bellagio.
I'll bet you I'm the only one on this
So
table.
4.8 thousand euros.
He's playing more than anyone basically, and
Yeah, he's
Oh, he's gonna get rid of it.
the guy is good at poker. He loves to play.
Jungleman does it again.
on this table that shot. Wow.
Jungle.
That's amazing.
Why would you do that?
Mine. This is mine.
I like this. 500 to pop to Jungleman again.
We are playing the 7-deuce game.
The blocker, John.
Yeah, exactly what I said. He had the blocker.
Are you even tracking who's paying you?
I paid 3 people paid me so far.
I pay 400.
I mean,
500, buddy. No discounts for fucking Mr. Sims.
I think we should.
Mr. Sims.
I I bet you I'm the only one on the table that shot guns with the
Yeah, you thought you had a blocker, but you didn't think you forgot you're in the jungle.
in Montana. So much fun. Should go one year. It's fun. I stay in this ranch. I played twice. It is the tournament. I won it twice.
I've heard all of those stories. Insane stories from back in the days, cowboy days.
Prepared a gunshot, did you?
When one guy goes bust and comes back with the gun and
He got his money back, right? He was the biggest winner. He went broke on the table and he was the biggest winner.
No, there was one funny story. Too funny. And one guy goes completely broke in the game. Bust. Goes home, comes back with the gun. He's like, I'm gonna kill all of you guys.
I was just jamming the root.
And the guys talk to him, like, chill out, man. And the guy comes and sits down in the game and keeps playing again.
What about the dead man's hand? The guy that got killed.
And they bust him again and the guy goes home.
How could you fold?
That is insane.
I shouldn't say anything, actually. Wow. Yeah, I don't know if fold, but
Texas.
I feel like there's no way.
That's Texas
Oh,
dog.
yeah.
Texas time being
Texas dog.
He's one of a kind.
That was a very enjoyable 7-deuce hand. Very nice late c-bet. Alright, so Rob Mizrachi check through pot, pulls out ahead on the river here. Oh wait, sorry, Jungleman with trip sixes. Wow, okay.
This guy might have 7-deuce again. So
It's funny too because I was just listening to Rob's story.
to protect us.
I was thinking about like those classic moments with big hands that people mentioned. Alright, so he bets twice the pot.
Getting ready.
This would count too. It's actually in 7-deuce, if people fold to your big blind and you win it, you also get paid. I've seen that happen a few times.
If he has 7-deuce again, I'm not going to the party. That's for sure. I mean, I didn't even have.
One guy could get 7-deuce 3 times and win all the hands.
Can you win them all? You're not 6. Then to win them all?
It just shows how jungle is running right now.
Raise.
okay. I didn't really want to see that.
Oh god. You had the
It's gonna be on
7-deuce?
tilt if that's a bluff.
No.
Oh, that's a really good bluff by Overaal. So that's gonna be on tilt.
Oh my god.
You get the best hand anyways.
Yeah, but sometimes I raise it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think. I don't
Oh
think.
my god. He
You
bluffed.
value better than that.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, of course.
No, but because you say I'm on tilt. I would have not sure, but you say.
Well, of course you on tilt a little bit.
That was fucking weird. There's no money in
I
that
made it
pot.
kind of a big fold. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't think.
Somebody's always on field on one game. There's no game where
I bluff
somebody's
jungle.
not.
Yes! Yes! Got him! Got him!
What do you have when Patrik shoved on you?
I play so bad. I play so bad, bro. Forget. I forget. That's so sick. No, I will not.
I folded a pair of people.
Yeah, but I played so bad. I'm so bad. This is the worst hand I play today. When you check shot, that's the worst hand I play in my life.
What do you have?
But what can you do bad on
That's the worst hand I play in my
You
life.
just had nothing. Huh?
That's not the worst hand you play.
It's one of the worst. No, I play many worst hands.
We're gonna know it in 15 minutes or 10
That's
minutes.
that's terrible, bro. That's terrible.
So you jacks.
I don't know.
I can promise you, no, I can promise you I had the best.
Patrik had a 7.
You think you have the best hand?
Patrik had a 7, maybe. Patrik had
Me, I had.
Patrik had 8-7. It was like, fuck this guy is ace king. I don't
Well, it's a close read.
Me, I had.
Very funny.
A feeling,
Am I
but
drunk or is the card
I think I played it very bad.
5.
No, we're not streaming it.
No, I will tell after.
Am I drunk or is the
No,
card
I don't want to say.
What is this?
Okay. wait, no, I don't want other.
Can you read those, Robert?
Yeah. I don't have 7-deuce.
Yeah, you understand? Let me know.
Want me to take the cards?
No, it's the same card. You're drunk.
That's terrible.
It's the same card.
It's
You
the
must
worst
be
time I
drunk.
play. That's terrible.
It's the same cards, man.
What happened? You travel?
500.
Guys, no more drinks for Patrick. He thinks we changed the deck.
I'm so on tilt. I'm so on tilt.
Friends, I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. Fuck that shit.
John, no more drinks for Patrick. He thinks we changed the deck.
What is the card?
What do you mean? It's the same deck.
Is that what the streamer knows? Because I'm so fucking tilted.
It's the same deck. What are you talking about?
It was still on
That was on stream?
I don't know. I don't know. No, I say.
Oh, I hope that wasn't on the stream.
What was on stream? What was that?
For the 6?
I folded a fucking 6.
Yeah, that's it.
You folded a 6?
Yeah, for the
Worst
6.
fold I ever made.
What about trips?
Yeah.
For trips, yeah. Check all the way.
Yeah, well, you played one hand the whole night and you
Yeah, I know.
bluffed.
I know.
You played one hand the whole night and you bluffed.
I know.
This guy's unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, plays one hand the night and
And then
you
it
bluffed.
Antonius
That's totally random.
It's like you did one
out of
hand
position
the
here,
whole night, you did the board.
raising it to 2.5k. Timothy Adams raised from early
It's a
position.
good play. I mean, you got him the ball. You probably the only one on the table. He would have folded.
I like when you fold the 6. It's
There is a chance that Timothy Adams
Yeah.
is deeper than what it shows here. And yes, it is. That would be like 20,000.
It's better jungle. It's better. Yeah.
He didn't even think
I'm
about
such a
it.
neat.
No, it looked like he had queen 10.
I'm such a neat jungle.
I mean,
It's
he
a good
lived
fold.
in and then
On the
he-
long run, good fold.
He raises the river with no money in the pot. There was no money in the pot. You had 200 in the pot and you raised the river. I mean,
You're gonna have nightmares.
it looked like it for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I know.
For sure it looked like he had.
Gonna feel.
We'll have nightmare as well.
We have more drinks.
Yeah, bro.
You probably convinced the viewers you had.
I had a fucking 6.
He has a fucking trips.
I mean, it looked like, no.
Fucking kind, man.
Yeah, on the flop. Yeah.
No, it looked for sure like
Oh
you
my
had queen 10.
god.
It looked for sure you had queen 10. I mean,
Sorry, bro.
or 7.
Thanks for that. It's good for view.
Hello.
Come on.
Let's make poker grid together again. Yeah,
As long as you make poker great together.
yeah. That's what I do.
Make poker great again. Yeah,
And one more thing. I want to add something to this clause.
Okay.
To this deal. You gotta
Okay.
have a shot too.
No, I'm losing too much.
Are you losing?
Nah, yeah, I'm losing, bro. I'm losing.
Sorry. Alright, only I have it. Only to this clause. I have to have a shot.
Yeah.
That's part of the deal. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, because you bet for the 6. Just because of that. Yeah.
I have
You're
to.
probably the only one in the world who would fold it into.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I was like, he for the 6, yeah.
You had 200 in that pot. It was like $200.
It was probably the dumbest fold I ever made.
No, but I mean, it looked like he had to have it. He had $200 invested in the hand. And he raises like on the river to win.
Sorry, jungle. I have French. You got French.
And it looked like he had to have it.
Maybe Italian as well. Yeah.
Nani!
Yeah, Nani, he's got French.
He's so sick, he probably
Look
knew
what
he
we
had
got.
it. Alright.
Sorry guys, but
No, but I played
you're
with
in North Europe and this is our
The most
style.
and in my life as well.
Finland, all these
Sorry,
Scandinavian
guys.
countries.
I got scared.
Jungle,
Very nice.
That plays what?
you enjoy our drinks or not? It's not mandatory, but it's just this is what we do.
I
Yeah.
feel like this is now being taken advantage of.
I feel like
Cheers, guys.
cheers.
I think Action Kane should have one. I think
Koray Aldemir just casually doing tequila shots.
I'll drink all you guys.
Kane, what is this?
On the end, I had the full house.
Are you serious? Oh, that's a really bad. That's like really.
Jungleman with aces.
That's just non.
That's just not even.
Not even.
I was still on stream with the perks.
Are we on stream or no?
Yeah, we're on stream.
Yeah, everyone saw it.
But
It's on you.
Everyone saw it, jungle.
Everyone saw
I
it.
say we use the French deck. The R's, the...
He got French.
That's allowed.
That's random.
Probably that.
Filling in the main event, you get more points.
Ooh, that's a flop there.
That's good take.
Koray Aldemir.
Yeah. So what? The first year you lose 4 million, and then next year you'll lose only 3. The year after you lose 2, and then you break
Check,
even,
check.
and then you start winning money.
We just wanna have fun and
Yeah, that'd
nice
be fun.
events.
It's very nice.
Of course.
It's
It's
a very good event.
We have no goals of competing
Yeah.
with
No,
anyone, and
of course. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
it's
fun
for
poker.
a nice event.
just fun, you know. We
So every
have
bankroll
fun,
can
yeah.
play from
Yeah.
side event very low to high stakes. That's amazing.
It's beautiful.
It's really modern. The hotel is fantastic.
So everybody is nice here. Great.
Pick a nice location where everybody can.
Yeah, you're like
Gonna bet 1100.
Like, have a good time.
You come from China, you're only 8 hours. If you come from
Quick call by Jungleman.
you come from the Middle
That's
East,
a brick.
8 hours, you're 8 hours. And if you're from Europe, you're a few hours away. It's perfect location. I love it. The cards look weird, but everything else is perfect. I don't even know what's on the board. Looks nice.
At least it's in English. The card, not in French. Robert.
I think that's Spanish then.
That's
Spanish.
Rota di Diamantes. Sì, Re di Picas.
I'm from Miami and I speak very little Spanish. Vamos a la playa.
Vamos a la biblioteca, hola chica.
You know that because of the song, or?
Vamos a la
Playa.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that's why I knew that.
La Bamba.
Bomba.
I love Spanish.
Hoy me
It's a
encanta.
beautiful language. Barcelona is like one of my favorite countries. I mean, places.
It's the maddest, angriest 3K bets ever.
For a lot of people.
It's beautiful. It's like
We've seen Koray Aldemir make some really big moves. He's not gonna do it this time, but you never know with this guy.
oh my god, he doesn't. If it's 7-deuce full,
Okay, look, what's my second pick?
Let's take a fucking
he's
look.
doing
Just turn it over.
That's a bad hand, anyways.
I appreciate it.
Relatively.
If Jungle gets 7-deuce offsuit again, I'm not going out tonight.
I think Jungleman fares a lot better on Jägermeisters than he does on vodka.
I know what you keep. Patrik, it's on you.
Who's in the 1500 PLO? Who? Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Code 65, code 6, code 7.
These two guys going at it.
One of us is still.
So pretty good board for both hands. It's gonna get continuation bet a decent amount, so sixes are gonna be doing alright against the bet. They also have some backdoor straight draws. Oh wow, that is an action card. Jungleman gonna be pretty happy after the check on the flop. He also has a straight draw now. That's a incredibly good turn for Johan. Gonna make it 2.6. Jungleman, of course, gonna make the call. That does not help him.
Already checked.
7K in the middle. Alright, so Jungleman quickly folds to the riverbed. Out of his seat. Walking it off. Pretty small pot still. Fortunate situation for him, but
No, I will tell you after the end.
I'll find out.
Yeah, just check.
You tell me?
I will see you after the
Bro,
game.
you're being.
Yeah, I'm so, I lost the pot, I'm so on tilt, so I prefer to not talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very on tilt.
For people with just experience, but we know.
You like it or not?
You know. How much 600?
ooh, 7-deuce for Patrik in the big blinds.
Patrick. But I like, thank you, you got me in the game. Definitely, man. You got me, man.
He's just gonna shove.
Hey guys.
Oh my god!
This, man.
Oh my god!
That's actually funny.
Oh my
100?
god!
Just 5, man.
100, 100, 100.
No, you don't get.
Alright, Patrick.
That's mine.
1,
Naughty.
2, Noni?
Naughty.
No, he
Naughty.
doesn't.
Yeah, I think he's not dealing. He has no cards.
1 more, huh?
The jungle is not paying.
No,
because he has
jungle
no
not
cards.
paying.
No cards.
You only get.
And the 500? 7
It's fine.
Yep. You need to have been at the table to pay, of course. So Jungleman was taking a walk, he doesn't pay. So Patrik Antonius collecting a nice 500 extra.
It's 500 game.
And it's interesting because he could have really given it away by just going all in, but at the same time, you know, people could also be trolling with it and actually have a strong hand.
Can't even guess. Oh, I showed it? Oh, sorry.
Why did you have it?
I didn't see it.
Why did you know?
I really didn't
No?
see it.
Last time you
I'm
called.
sorry.
Fuck off.
It's not me, I swear it's the vodka.
I shouldn't have said a word.
That's just not the vodka.
I should have scummed it.
I'm sorry. I'll buy you a drink if you come to Patrick's party tonight. I'll buy you a drink just because I almost showed it. Look,
It's a double-handed
let's
race.
put the 7-deuce again.
Looking at my stack.
You took me off the internet.
at your stack, yeah.
Yeah, here's the stack. I made it too small.
We have aces here. Antonius against King Carlos. Kane has about 1.5 X spot left. This is a really bad flop for him.
Alright, no more kitty games.
Not even one heart.
That's how good you run. You missed the 7-deuce.
Yeah, really tough for him. Not much he can do.
Running too hot, man.
Patrick had a 7-deuce. Huh? Yeah, Patrick won with 7-deuce.
I knew it. What do you think I left?
Yeah, it's completely abnormal to have commentator on the screen. I agree with that. I don't like it either, so that's why I just like to have like this screen in between. See, because now you see I'm almost laying in my chair, which is great for me. It is actually way more casual to do commentary.
2 times again.
Wow,
2 times.
they're gonna get it in.
What happens if you run it twice and you have 7-deuce?
It's a classic.
A classic flip indeed. Ace King suited here against the tens.
Huh?
First one today.
Guys, what happens if
Like
you
a
like
real
run it
flip.
twice? Say Patrick had 7-deuce and won at one time. What
2
happens?
times. 2 times.
Only the first four counts.
That makes sense. Classical touch.
So I think they're running it twice. 34k in the middle. Wow, look at that
No back.
somersault card flip.
Piece of king.
So that's the first one.
Always good.
You're gonna
to
go
win
to
the
Yo
first one.
Viral.
Yes.
How it came.
I love this sentence in your shop. They're always good to win the first one.
Just hope you don't hit a 10. What is this 9 deuce 3? Look at how many 9s.
Patrik needs an ace or a king here, otherwise he's gonna lose the whole pot.
Oh, sick.
Got him with the berry.
Almost. Got it.
Koray is sick.
Nah, it's okay.
One card away. 16k difference.
The 10th card.
What the fuck? What? Oh, whatever.
What's the deck shuffle through 10 at?
It said, go to The World Series, we go to EDC.
EDC is fantastic, but now it's in May. They do that in May now.
Now it's changed?
Yeah, before it was in June, and now they do that
I
in May.
was going one time.
Right, again, Ace King and 10s out there.
I don't do drums, but I like
Yeah, I need to watch it.
Going one time. We were going, we had there, and it was so windy, they canceled it.
Oh my
The
god,
one night.
it's so good event.
I was going with ice cream. It was fun.
This year.
3 years ago, maybe?
So these guys are gonna get it in pretty standard.
It does like 3 times, and every time
Another flip.
Look guys,
Don't ask how much.
Guaranteed shot. Oh,
Hey.
I mean,
Trying to watch the game here. Well, that's a very similar situation to what we had before. Ace King or Deuce for Callis. Not gonna work. You always kind of hope that somebody at least hits a 10 there or something. So,
Ace always has
second board now.
Barry Greenstein, he's on a river.
Right, so there's an ace. He needs to dodge a 10 to chop the pot.
10s are live.
10s are very live.
He did the trick. He did the
He did the trick.
unwritten
Alright, so Timothy Adams wins both runouts. Wins Kane Scala's remaining 10k. What?
Give it to me, I'll give you it.
Weird flex.
You can play with those, no?
Jesus.
You have?
Looks like 20.
Huh? 30.
30.
You want,
What the? Jesus. 3 stacks of high society there.
Pure Robert, I like when you are serious like that, you stay serious, and that's very good.
yeah, I think realistically you can play till 9 o'clock.
7-deuce.
Yeah,
Let's see if
might split before because I
Yo Viral is gonna go for some action here.
take my time.
I think you got
He is. He's gonna make it 1.8k. It's a very normal sizing.
That's my read.
I don't think that's gonna get rid of Antonius, so he's probably gonna have to do it on the flop.
How can I not call? We're gonna have a lot of history now.
Man, Yo Viral might get it done this time. He kind of backed down from it last time. And this is another one of those excellent spots for him to immediately have a lot of full equity on. Patrik just not gonna fuck around too much here with hands like Ace 10 out of position. It'd be hilarious if he check raises here. They are playing the 7-deuce game. If you win with 7-deuce, everybody owes you 500. Oh, is he cutting out? Oh my god, he was so close!
I just
I told you, I knew you had it. I was going to fucking with that.
7-deuce, man.
Oh man, I feel like he was so close.
This was expensive. But what are you gonna do if I raise you, shot?
I'm not doing the silence. I don't even get it.
Yeah. I have 2. Give you that back.
Take it from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played though. He
Yeah,
played
but
the
if he
hand.
had the...
He was in the hand.
Yeah.
Okay, then he has to pay.
So he has to-
Tack and tack, okay? So I have 3k, it's good? Very good. I'm happy to win one of the
I
7
was
deuce.
so close to raise.
Yes.
Yeah, he looked like he had 4k cut out.
Raise at the last moment.
Yeah.
Before the hand, I said he's got
You
to
need
be
that.
Bluff with 7 deuce.
Let's play heads up.
We could.
We could very well.
I only have one. Oh no, I've got 2. I really hope they do.
Seven deuce. Man, King call us again. Oh, Patrik is gonna see flop. That's okay. That's really cool. So that's gonna. And this is one of those situations where you just don't expect somebody to flat with 7 deuce because you know they could take it down pre-flop, make it 6,000, possibly have 3,000 added in there.
America's finest. Against Finland's finest. Germany's
It's a problem for him that Aldemir has 7-5, but Patrick's not gonna wait to hit, most likely. Ooh. That's gonna be hard for Patrik to get done. Both players flop a draw. King Khaled's gonna bet 28s, I believe. 2800s. Oh man, you gotta hate this. Look at him, like, what are you gonna do? There's not even a fucking diamond. Oh man, Patrick's face is so funny. It's so recognizable when you're playing this game. Oh, he's got a call? What? But Aldemir, I think Aldemir's... It depends. It really depends. I mean, if two people... If one person bets and the other calls, there's so much money in the pot, like... Such a big chance you're gonna get called here. Man, the fact that he floated there, that's legendary status. That's going for it. He is all in. This, yeah, Kane is gonna need an exact count there. Man, it's too bad. Why didn't this come like Queen 5 deuce? Patrik getting out of the way. These guys are still playing a sizable pot here. King high good so far.
Germany's finest, everyone. 7-5 club. Early position. I had a bad hand.
More outs for Koray Aldemir. King Jack takes first. That's a king. He's gonna need a club, otherwise he loses both. Oh, Koray Aldemir loses both runs there. King Khaled's wins some money back on the second bullet. Wins 20k with that hand. It's really nice knowing that the game is gonna break soon. That you won that hand. Koray Aldemir rebuying.
Gentlemen, this is going to be the last stand.
He's gonna hear that's the last hand.
We keep playing?
Super tilt.
Are you done? Or
So are we playing
you keep
now
playing?
after that, or? Yeah, right?
You guys can keep playing.
Patrick, have you prepared your speech?
No, I never do. I go freestyle every time.
Very Finnish.
Yeah.
Moi.
Nonni. Nonni.
Vittu kuuluu. Okay.
I feel like I played really bad. Not fair. I still want to luck with my hands.
Right, so we got some real hands here. Jungleman up about 15k. Koray Aldemir down about 30. Timothy Adams about 15k down. But we have had his stack a little bit miscalculated, so it could actually be less bad for him. He made that insane bluff with 5-4. It was really awesome to see. Look at this board. Jungleman flopping. The second nut flush draw on a gut shot to the nut. Just a 500 bet, quarter of the pot.
Yeah, I come to visit. Okay.
There is the jack. So the most hidden of Jungleman's outs. It's actually a pretty reasonable card for Aldemir as well.
Very international play.
You can now make it straight with a 9 or a king. Possibly even opens up a bluffing opportunity for him.
Europe, all Europe, Africa, all in the same place, right? So I like this. It's very cosmopolitan. I think it's one of the most cosmopolitan space in Europe. It's Malta. Because it's pretty small and people come for iGaming companies and
Jungleman gonna bet 2.5k now.
Shots?
The weather is always good.
Yeah.
Sometimes windy.
Yeah. What shot do you want?
Can we do like
I can do
bartender shot, whatever he thinks?
Hey, Rob, he wants vodka. So
I can do vodka.
One vodka and one
Cranberry.
fun shot.
No,
Like
vodka shot.
Gonna make the call.
something different.
Vodka cranberry. I wanted to mix, but okay, vodka shot. Let's go.
No, we're doing one vodka, whatever
Vodka shot.
and then nipple twisters.
Jack of spades. So the board pairs
No, what's like a cool shot? Just
effectively.
something interesting.
Jungleman doesn't really improve his hand, even though he upgrades to a flush.
Yes, they do. Come on. Okay. Well, surprise us. Tell the vodka. Do 6 of those and one vodka with an umbrella.
Jungleman really deliberating to see how much he's gonna bet.
Tonight? Oh, I was thinking sushi, but I added the last 7 nights, so I might do something different. It's pretty good, but it takes forever.
Yeah, good.
Seems like always
Takes long, but they are good.
It's good. It's good.
Very good.
I might just head to that table butcher then.
The steak was great. I mean,
Oh, you thought so?
Even the camera gave up.
I broadcasted the deal I gave it.
It's gonna be 6,200.
And I'm talking to you like an idiot.
This is one of those situations where you do consider the 7-deuce.
But I have this effect. He's gonna be another genuine.
That's a lot of extra hand combinations you have to add in there.
No, it was I say poker, right?
Yeah. No, poker Tarak, so you get a vice it.
I think I know the hand for sure. Certainly I know who is the player.
It's so easy to forget 7-deuce, but be sure that Koray is considering it. I think that's one of the reasons why he's thinking this long. Think about it, when you're considering hand options and all the hands that people can have, you're just going to yourself, alright, 7-deuce of diamond, 7-deuce of hearts, 7-deuce offsuit. They're all in there, you know? Wow, he makes the call! Wow, that's a pretty wild hand there, right at the last hand of this cash game. Jungleman wins a 20k pot to finish it off. Yeah, you could tell from his face. Alright, he's still alive. Oh, you just never know. You just never know in this fucking game. Alright guys, so these guys are gonna wind down and they're gonna go to the party. Some guys might continue playing, but it's not gonna be televised. This was it for our broadcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I just want to say also thanks to Patrik Antonius, because not just that they approached me to do commentary, but what's really cool is that they just said, do it on your own channel. We'd rather have you do it there. And that's something that I really hope is going to happen a lot. You see this a lot in esports as well, but for them to just do it that way really shows that they get things. Also, as you see in the back there, check out the Flop app. It's going to be a really cool, well-developed app. There's a lot of investment in going into that, and it could become something really cool, especially with all the meetup games that are happening everywhere. It's going to be a really cool tool, I think, for people to use. Thank you guys so much for the kind words. Really enjoyed this.